You want to test us out?
Yeah, willing to die for what I'm living for. And if you didn't get it, go and live some more. I'ma run it up. Gotta get some more, we ain't done enough. Can't fake or imitate. Short grass so no snakes get in the way. John Madden called me, I got the play. In the maze, you gotta find a way. Or make one, living for the future, not yesterday. Wanna be great, do what it takes. Willing to rise for the right reasons. And you can't kick us out cause we not leaving. Bring all my flowers while I'm still breathing. Made a promise every day gon' be my season. Wanna sleep on greatness, better keep dreaming. Hall of Fame need the name, it's for one reason. I'm a legend. I'm a legend.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ward Radio live stream. I am your host, Cardin Ellis, here in the Ward Radio Wigwam. And we're joined by a killer cast of none other than Brittany the Shadow, as well as Megan. What's up, Megan, from the Women Award Radio?
Hi.
And we got Brooke incoming here, as well as, I forgot. I nearly forgot, was I thinking? Via Zoom, we've got Rachel Patterson of Women in Priesthood. And apparently the ladies touched a nerve yesterday, so we're just going to have a little bit of a pizza party. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna talk it out here. I literally ordered us pizza.
Thank you.
You know, and we're all just gonna have a little convo here because it got dicey up in those comments. And I don't mean slicey and dicey pizza all nicey. I mean, whoo! There were some opinions. By the way, this is actually very good. It means that people are taking this very, very seriously, and I think garments should be taken very seriously. It also means that there's a wide range of opinions, which shows that we are not just a homogenous church with a bunch of sycophant lemmings like many anti-Mormons would like to say that we are. We have a wide and diverse array of all kinds of different opinions, and people that are fortunately willing enough to put themselves out there as public figures and express them. So we actually decided we're going to do a follow-up here. I feel like when Joe Rogan had Tim Pool and like the community guidelines committee from Twitter on, and then like they didn't go deep enough, I guess, and there was just like this uproar. So anyway, everybody, let's talk the up and the down, the in and out of garments. And if you have any specific questions for any of the ladies or any comments, please send them to us via super chat. That's
Whoa.
past
You do not
tense.
want any chats.
Yeah, past tense of what? No, I don't know. But please send them to us via super chat. First one here being Arbin Ransom saying 24 months and no regrets. Thank you for all your hard work and sacrifice. Awesome. Thank you very much, Arbin, for being with us here that whole time. And let me see, any others? No, please make sure you guys like this stream on your way in. Share it with your friends. I'm going to let Rachel, you can start us out. You know what I'm saying? With I don't know, any opening thoughts?
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, so I have a channel that you guys know, and I've been pretty picky in the past few years about who I get involved with. And I have to say, when I started getting involved with Ward Radio Women, I was like, oh my gosh, these women have actual testimonies of the restored gospel of Jesus Christ. Like, these are women with actual testimonies. They want to testify. They're not going to like be swayed by popular opinion. And all the women, Charlotte and Tikla and Brittany and Megan and Brooke, I mean, all of these women have testimonies. So what you guys witnessed yesterday on our live stream or on our video about garments was a conversation among millennial women who have all made covenants to wear garments and do wear them. And I think what may have struck a nerve is that it probably surprised you that it is an active effort for us to wear garments. And so that is why I'm not actually going to apologize for anything that I said or walk anything back, because it might come as a surprise to a lot of people that healthy people put in effort to be healthy, and people who wear garments put in effort to wear their garments. And what I liked about yesterday is a lot of times when you're in a room, if there's one woman who's just like, oh, garments are easy for me, like I wear them all the time, no problem, I know all the answers, everyone else is quiet. Women just silence themselves. But what you saw yesterday was a lot of totally faithful, covenant keeping women saying, hey, like, I struggle with this, or this is hard for me, and I have to put effort in here. And I think that that's real. That's human. Like, to be honest with your striving. You know what I mean? That was my take on. And I think I guarantee you that if this group of women who are willing to put ourselves out there, put our testimonies on blast, are saying those kind of things, I guarantee you there's a group of women out there who aren't in the comment section who are saying, oh my gosh, I thought it was easy for everybody else. It is so nice to see other women who are like, this isn't natural for me, and I put in effort. It's a conscious effort for me to keep this commitment and I guess I'm not alone because these women have the same experience. So that's my take on
that is
chat.
Amen.
That is so spot on. Thank you. And you know what? I'm just going to completely lean into my transparency. I started bawling hysterically when I read the comments because I thought, I have a testimony. I don't want to start crying again like a punk. But here's the thing. I love being a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I know that our garments are sacred. Here's why I'm crying. Because people in the comments were suggesting that I was saying that they were a bad thing or that I never wore them. Quite the contrary. I said that when I was especially nervous about something, the garments were the first thing that I would think of to put on.
Yeah.
The thing is, I am still dedicated to being transparent on Word Radio and talking about my struggles. I'm here to defend the church, not to defile the church. Please write that down. And for the people in the back who didn't hear me, I'm here to defend the church because I love it. I'm not here to defile it. Also, I don't want someone who is struggling to go to a anti-Mormon channel and try to find comfort there. It's like, no, I am a faithful member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and this is something that I struggle with sometimes. And I want other people who feel that way to know you're not alone. That's it.
Yeah. And if this video was not your cup of tea, fine. Like, so maybe you don't struggle with wearing garments. Okay. I bet you struggle with something else. I even clap back at some people in the comments like, I think you struggle with judginess. Like, you're pretty judgy right now. We all struggle with something. And isn't that the purpose of church? To come together, to share our struggles, to edify and strengthen each other?
Oh, man. You guys are going for, I thought we were just having a pizza party.
I mean,
You know what I'm
would
saying?
like another
slice.
slice.
Yeah, we gotta pass this around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get another slice. Brooke, you can have one too. Of course, you probably don't eat carbs. You know what I'm saying? I've done keto for 3 of the past 4 days, which I probably just got myself out of. You know what I'm saying? But it's all right. You know, pepperoni, that's my favorite comfort food.
Was it the stress? Was it the stress of this episode landing?
No. Well, Brittany just thought, you know, hey, we should have a pizza party.
Like, I'm hungry, and if we're doing a live stream, I need some food.
Yeah. So anyway, dude, actually, my coping mechanism is completely different. I just like making fun of the haters. You know, and I would say actually, first off, Megan, what you said is beautiful. Thanks. And I think it is great. And it is the calling of those of us that are podcasters, just like Rachel, just like you, just like Brittany in the Shadow, that put ourselves out there. One of the things that we risk is people mocking our opinions. And it unfortunately hits very home when it's something as as close to us as religion and so on and so forth. But it also opens up a big realization that I really, really think members of the church going into the 21st century really do have to realize. Is that we have 2 problems in the church. Yes, there's persecution from without, but there's also persecution from within. Really, it's there are cry bullies, there are woke scolds, there are ex-Mormon, anti-Mormons that adopt all of these horrible and heinous, kind of just like hyper woke and judgy in their own kind of way positions that kind of disrupt family life and are super negative and actually very toxic. But if we're honest with ourselves, that sometimes in the pews next to us, it looks all too familiar, right? And that's not to say that any of your girls' takes, which might have been less strict than some of the more, Orthodox members would like to have seen. It's not to say that, like, maybe they didn't have a point or something like that. But it definitely shows that, like, boy, we don't have problems if this is what we're worrying about on the person next to us in the pews. Y'all need to go to church in New York. Y'all need to go to church in Los Angeles. Y'all need to go out and touch proverbial grass if you got too much of a problem, because it's not, I don't want to disrespect people saying like, hey, this is sacred and we think it should be treated sacredly. I just don't want it to become a false idol for people, if that makes sense, right? So I like just responding to comments. Do we want to respond to a bunch of comments? Do we want to respond to a bunch of super chats? Because this video's got 400 comments already. It's only been out 8 hours.
I was going to text Quaco and be like, hey, your crazy new age videos got like 200 something comments. Like, we're up to like 400 now because people are like, oh my gosh, women on Word Radio are so woke. I'm like, I was born and raised in Los Angeles as I'm a conservative, religious woman who refused to mask, who refused the jab, and y'all are calling me woke now? Like, that's the first time I've ever been called woke. That was just funny for me. I kind of take it as a badge of honor.
Okay.
You know what this reminded me of is Brittany, like, you know, if you're among like friends and you're married and you're like having a conversation with a married friend about your marriage, and you're like, there's an understanding that like this is within the context of like a healthy, happy marriage, and the other friend gets that, and then you're just also going to be real, and your friend understands like, oh yeah, well, we're talking about a healthy, happy marriage. Like, I think that's what is so nice about the conversation. Like, I feel safe with Megan. I feel safe with Brittany. Like, I've known these women for like a year and a half now at this point, bearing our souls. That it's like, I feel safe saying, hey, I have a testimony. You have a testimony. We've all made covenants. We all wear garments. I want to, like, can I be real? Like, you know, this is how I feel. And you know what's so great about the sharing part is that a lot of times you have, when you're able to share, sometimes you have insights that come from your friends that teach you, like, that teach you something that you needed, and you're not going to get those answers unless you say like, hey, this is something that I struggle with. I mentioned that I have a good friend that I go to in addition to the lovely ladies of Word Radio, right? When I'm like, hey, I don't quite get this principle, like I'm weak on this principle, and she'll give me her insights. And so it's like, if we're not putting ourselves out there, you know, so I think I would also challenge some of the people in the comments as well. Like, one of the questions I keep chewing on about garments and modesty, and Bednar's talk that we referenced about like principles versus rules, is how can we teach the principles of wearing garments and modesty in a more principle-based way, as opposed to rule-based way. So if you're in the comment section, I would love an answer to that question. Like, how can we teach this in a more productive way to the next generation?
Yeah. All right. Sick. So Brittany, you're going to put in some of the best comments, and we're not going to dwell on all the negativity for too long. We're just going to respond to some of them, because I really think that this is a little bit of microcosm that represents the macrocosm of how we have difficult conversations as millennials coming out of a boomer culture where that was not as predominant. You know what I'm saying? This can be done in a fun and healthy and cool way, and we're going to make it fun. Because after all, we got pizza and super chats. What could be better? That sounds like a punk album from the late 90s, early 2000s. So Josiah Flynn says, Sadducees, where? Do we need to flip tables? Yeah, maybe, dude. Just not here in the Word Radio Wigwam, by the way. Brooke, glad to have you here. Traffic on the 405 must have been a doozy today, you know? Yeah, I hear you. Sorry, there you are.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, and I had to get my combat gear on. Woo!
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Okay, second super chat here. Stephen Diamond says, Cardin, I think we're going to see some amazing things happen soon in Rexburg. Too bad I'm going to have to go to community housing because of the rules. Hey, community housing because of the rules. What? Do they kick out all the 10 out of 10 guys to make room for the 9 out of 10 dudes? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, dude, there's a lot of estrogen in this room. I got to hook up brother up, you know. I wouldn't say bros before hoes, because none of you are hoes, but I would say, you know.
Not according to the
I was
comment
about
section.
to say in the comments I am.
We be hussies in the comment section.
Yeah. Disgusting, delusional.
Really? Did it get
Oh,
that
yeah.
bad?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm
geez.
putting some in the Discord right now. Just you wait.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
just
have
you
some good
wait.
ones too.
Oh my gosh. Okay, load up the Discord. We'll laugh. We'll laugh. Anyway, Stephen, yes, actually, I hear that there is a resurgence of a lot of people that graduated from Rexburg that have been saying, hey, Rexburg's not fun anymore. And it wasn't that way when I was there. Like, make Rexburg fun again. And they're having some meetings with everything from the student body to leadership at the university to local people that run businesses there, gonna try and make it poppin' again. So I look forward to that. Stephen HN says, my name is Harushian with Nigerian or W Nigerian. Check out my book. There Was a Cry Made at Midnight, The Light of Christ from East to West. Well, you know what? That $4.99 just got you some self-promotion, bro. That's the cheapest billboard you got in all of YouTube. Good job, man. Somebody else commented, says, hey, I don't think self-promotion is allowed here. You know what? He got away with it. He got away with it. Good job. Joseph Falahi says, aloha from Hawaii. Well, aloha back. Kurlam Theory says, got a compliment on my Not Today Satan shirt.
I have one of those too.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
We should make one of those for the merch store, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not today, Exmos. I don't know.
No. Not today's agencies. No, I'm just kidding. McBunny8 says, so proud of you guys. Megan is my hero.
Aw.
Me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, rock on.
Thank you so much. I was having such a bad day. Thank you for saying that.
All right, rock on. So, so proud of you guys. Megan is my hero. Garments aren't my problem, but I definitely have my own and appreciate your honesty and vulnerability. Methamphetamines are a B, bro. That's hard to quit. I feel you. But no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah, just glad to hear that Megan is your hero, and she is ours as well, along with Brooke and Rachel and Tikla and Brittany and all the other women of Ward Radio. Joy, and we got to get Riley back too. It's been a while. Too many episodes without Riley and Joy. Stephen Diamond says, struggling and Charlotte. Oh my gosh, now I got to go down the list. There's a lot of them. Erica. Jeez, man, we got a lot of you girls. Stephen Diamond says, struggling isn't the same as elders purposely not wearing them on P Day, no G Day. That I learned about from someone in my religion class. Okay, I never heard of P Day, no G Day, but some of those basketball games, you know what I'm saying? Some of those basketball games on P Day, they can last 8 hours, I guess. So, yeah, that's interesting. Babe, are you off your phone so you can be the keepers of the chats?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hit it.
Okay, I think we're on, is it Mary Lou Howard?
Yep, Mary Lou.
Okay. I'm one of those who has never had an issue about wearing my garments, but you ladies open my eyes to the issues that can face faithful sisters. Thank you.
Can I make a comment
you.
to Mary Lou?
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I think a way, like, thank you, Mary Lou, because someone who, if you are encountering people who might, like, I guarantee you, if this is a panel of women with strong testimonies who are willing to, like, shout it from the rooftops, proverbially, we do reflect the comments. We do reflect the way that a lot of women probably feel. They just keep it to themselves. And so if you can be thinking about, like Mary Lou said, like, I didn't know that there might be women who feel this way, thinking about how you can instill faith or teaching or testimony in your local wards. If you're a young women's leader, if you are a young women's advisor, especially, this can give you some material to work with. Like, if I had young women expressing these feelings, how would I teach them? How would I inspire them to have confidence? Like, how would I instruct them? I think is a productive way of looking at this. We're giving you good material, you guys.
Yeah. And you know, my whole thing with this was, I think.
Okay, for real though, where's the pizza? Because I keep saying,
Oh,
I want
here.
a slice, and I'm like, I don't know, I got to say it 3 times. I don't know.
Yeah, passing it down. Do you want some pizza, Brooke? Do you want some pizza?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is how we're just
soda.
chilling out and having
Yeah.
some pizza. Yeah, you gotta. Is that Diet Coke?
It's tiny, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm caffeinating. It's late
it
over
helping?
here.
slowly.
Okay.
East Coast.
Cool. Rock on. I feel you. So I totally forgot what I was going to say now, but it's all good. Oh, actually, no, I do remember.
Sorry.
I think that this is actually really good. And I have a prediction. I think garments will not cease to exist because they're part of temple worship. And one of the most beautiful aspects of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the fact that we engage in religious ritual. Like, Protestantism stripped almost all religious ritual out of just Christianity in North America. A lot of people mock, like, the ortho bros or the Orthodox priests for, looking kind of goofy, and as they would say, or, Jewish people with, I can't remember the name of the word, but the wrappings they put on their arm with the Book of Deuteronomy and the Law of Moses that's on their forehead, or maybe even like, Catholic bishops or cardinals with their hats and everything like that. But and they'll say like, oh, well, Mormon temples, like, oh, that's so weird, that's so weird, that's so weird. And it's like, well, if you've come from a society that's been sterilized of religious ritual, sure, it's weird in the sense that it's not what you're used to. It may be new to you, so it's weird in the sense that, yes, it is not part of your quotidian life. But humankind for thousands of years has participated in religious ritual, not just as a coping mechanism, as they wait for the benefits of modernity, as like a necessary part of our human experience. And we're really kind of the only North American faith that has that. Catholicism was imported from Europe, and there's some vestiges of the original Christian ritual worship in Catholicism, in, Greek Orthodox, the Eastern faiths. They're so much more down with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just comes easily for them over there, right? But in North America, North American Protestantism has been wildly sterilized, and the groups that get closest to it are the most heavily mocked. Like, you think Mormons are mocked for the Golden Bible and Joseph Smith and stuff. Wait until you see how Christians treat the who are the evangelicals that really believe in the gift of tongues? Oh, come on. Starts with a P, not Presbyterian. Episcopalians. Yeah. Oh yeah, wait until you see how Christians treat Episcopalians. By the way, is it good? Is it comfort food category, or is it just above average? Yeah, I'll take that as a good. So we have temple rituals, and the garment is associated with that. So I think that's beautiful. However, as we have become a worldwide church, we've really had to come to terms with what is culture and what is actually ritual. And in reality, it's the symbols on the garment that are actually ritual. It's not the garment itself. That's why it has consistently gotten, in my opinion, shorter and shorter and shorter, and more and more different, not to accommodate North American wokeism, but frankly, a worldwide church. You lived in what, Saudi Arabia, right, Rachel?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I was going to bring up a story with that I thought was, I lived in Iraq, Dubai,
So would
Morocco.
not even the average conservative dress worn by a supposedly socially conservative female at church that totally covered average garments be considered a scandal amongst the women in Iraq? Yeah. So as we and Brittany's grandfather was the mission president of Singapore, which covers Pakistan. Might have even covered. Did they cover Afghanistan and Iraq in that mission, or
No,
did it not go that far?
Pakistan.
It was just.
That's crazy.
It was just Pakistan. Yeah. So like the Southeast Asian countries were all within the Singapore mission, right? So they were going to the Middle East all the time, and sometimes they're helping women that are now political refugees get their visas into England or into America because they converted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now they're subject to honor killings in their hometowns, right? So those women are looking at, garment standards of North America as like, oh, geez, this is at best easy street, at worst a scandal, So it shows you that it's not about the length, that those are social norms that are determined by societies. And as we focus more in on what the ritual is, on what the symbolism is, so on and so forth, I think literally ultimately This is almost never a conversation for men. As yoked as I am, and as hard as it is for you ladies not to tear my shirt off in my presence to see the washboard abs and the believably bulging biceps, emphasis on the believable,
I've seen them.
it's mostly generally a female problem, because with guys, like, we're not as judged on our looks as much, and our fashion does not. We all look the same at church. It's an accidental uniform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The formal ones have the suit coat on. The informal ones just have the regular shirt, but that's it. We're not under the same scrutiny for our looks as women are. And if you look at women's fashion worldwide, it is so varied by culture, by degree, by socioeconomic class, that pretty quickly you start realizing, boom, it's not about what in the 60s was considered proper short length for a girl. It's really about what the temple ceremony does to your soul, and we can't hyper focus on this. So I literally think they're going to be a bottom and like a bra top within 50 years.
Sweet.
That's literally what I think.
Also, before the chat gets like even more angry, it's not Episcopalian, it's Pentecostal.
Oh gosh, you're right. It's Pentecostal.
Yeah.
So anyway, hit it. Who is talking next? Who is going to talk next?
Well, I think there's some super chats.
Hit the super chats, and then Rachel was going to say something. Yes.
Okay. Shoot, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, Kiori says rough draft of Nephi's Tabernacle is finished.
Whoa. By the way, Ward Radio Discord writers group, let's talk. I have a zombie movie I need you to write.
Oh.
Yeah, are you excited for that one? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Stephen Diamond says, got 4 big Rexburg rumors, and no one of them is true. The 4 ancient office buildings are going. New rule is anyone over 26 needs community housing.
What's community housing?
Like not like student housing, like community, like approved community housing, I think is what it is. Like you don't live on campus or like off campus approved housing. It's like community housing. I think that's what he's saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stephen.
Yeah, I don't know either. But if I go to Rexburg, I have to meet Stephen Diamond. This brother has been super chatting us for like 2 years, man. Yeah. So holy smoke, right?
Yeah.
And then Cardin, read the next super chat. It's Ed2276 LDS.
Okay. I'm assuming it's a he. Cardin, you mused about my YouTube name in a prior comment. E equals first letter of first name. D equals first letter of last name. 22 equals number of favorite basketball player. Former San Francisco Giants first baseman Will Clark. 76 equals year of first car I owned. That's what his name means.
Wow. Can you just please really fast tell me the name of your first pet, your mother's maiden name? You know what I'm saying? And if you could maybe just like throw in the name of the street you grew up on,
Don't
or
do that,
your
Ed. Don't do that.
elementary school
Don't do that.
mascot, I would be very, very grateful. No, I'm just kidding. Ed, that's awesome. I'd be curious what car you had in 1976. The first car that my mother drove was a 1972 Plymouth Duster.
Okay, that's great and all, but listen to this. Andrew Lee. You gotta welcome him to Straight Up Indulgences.
What?
Yeah, I knew you'd lose your mind on that one.
Dude, holy crap.
Yeah.
We have 2 on I gotta go look this up. Straight Up Indulgences.
Andrew Lee, welcome to the Ward Radio Wigwam.
Dude, we have 2 people that are
He also just gifted 10 Ward Radio memberships.
oh my gosh.
Dang, Andrew.
I gotta see how many people I'm gonna see if I can even do this right now if I go to YouTube Studio. How many people are subscribed to just Straight Up Indulgences?
I think he's only the second one, right?
I think he's only the second one. I'm looking at right now. Memberships. Okay. Here's recent activity. Members, supers, active members, see more. Okay, so on Straight Up Indulgences, I have 2. Holy smoke. We have 2 people. I'm going to do a live stream just for the Straight Up Indulgences. Do you know what the Straight Up Indulgences are, Brooke and Megan?
No.
Okay, so you know when you press the join button on YouTube?
Yes.
You watch on YouTube? So like a basic telestial ticket, I think it's like $5.99 or something. Like T-Restral's like $7.99. C-Lestral's like $9.99. Then Council of 50. Like I was just pulling down the options, and YouTube wants you to have as many options for their viewers as possible. So I was like, okay, cool. Council of 50, which is kind of a nod and a joke to the Council of 50 in the old days, is like $49.99 a month. It's like, $50 Council of 50. And then like for the last one, it wanted me to choose the last one. I was like, okay, that's it. What's the most you can charge? Straight up indulgence. It's like 150 bones a month or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so like, no joke, that's some serious channel support.
Wow.
These people are Chads. And what's funny is I'm going to do a live stream. I will literally, like next time I'm editing, I will just do a live stream that's a members only live stream, and only 2 of them will be able to. I'm going to do a straight up indulgences only live stream just to see if these guys log
meet
on.
and greet, if you will.
Just to see if these guys log on. And then like maybe we'll just like super chat each other backwards and forwards.
Okay, but everyone put a W in the chat for Andrew, Ultimate
Okay.
Chad, and then put WX, I think he did 10, WX10 for Gus Burton, Brian Willis, Metronom Tanis, Joe Nielsen, Sherry Kennedy, Robert Hall, Nate Ryan, Curlium Theory.
Okay, Kurlam Theory. Rock
Yeah.
on. Okay. Hit it. Keep taking the super chats, babe.
Okay, Kiori says you should check out the live stream Ether's Elephant and I did the other day about AI and faith. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool.
That sounds interesting.
Well, you know something you're going to have to think about? Do you guys remember the episode we did, Why Men Hate Church? It's like a year ago, I think it
yes,
was.
there was a
Okay. So the guy that we were interviewing, super, super interesting cat. His son, so the guy we are interviewing, Why Men Hate Church. I'm pulling up the cover of the book right
I
here.
remember his face.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's cool. The guy's name was David Murrow. Is it Morrow or Murrow? Let me check. I'm going to look this up. It's David Murrow. Here we go. Okay, so it's Why Men Hate Church. Okay. And it just, talks about, getting more men in the pews and different statistics on men dropping out of church in disproportion to women, which is interesting. Now we've got a male church because the male loneliness epidemic has been so prominent. But in general, the trend in North America for the past 100 years has been less men, more women. And he wrote a book, Why Men Hate Church, right? Well, I asked him if there's any other interesting topics to talk about. And I'm probably butchering his response, but he said, dude, you think I'm interesting? You got to get my son on. And I was like, really? Why? And I don't know if he was writing some thesis for some kind of university thingy, or if he was writing a book, or if it was part of his education or what. But he said, AI is basically the new Adam, like Adam and Eve. And he was like, I was like, wait, what? What are you saying? And he said, well, if you think about it, AI is machine learning. It can only be trained, but it is taking over more and more and more of our world's jobs. And he says AI will be so, if everything Elon Musk and all the AI guys warn about, he says AI will be so powerful within 10, 20 years that it will be able to manage Earth better than humans can. At which point it will become omniscient. And if you think about this, it's crazy. Not omniscient, like truly omniscient, but men will have to convince the machine that it is benevolent, that it is worth following, that it is morally superior to follow the orders of man than to just do what it thinks is more efficient. That we will get to a point where, just like God had to try and instill morality into Adam and teach him like morality from scratch. You know what I'm saying? That like AI will be our Adam, and the great moral battle of the 21st century is like going to be convincing machine learning of our human morality.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
The thing that I always see is like, I always make fun of my husband because he loves dystopian apocalyptic shows. I go to bed and he watches what I would consider very depressing, and I'm always like, where are the kids? Where are the women and the kids? Like, that's the one thing that science is messing with right now that they cannot replicate, which is like surrogacy, synthetic wombs. You cannot take a baby out of a mother's womb like from like a surrogate mother and that baby not be traumatized. Like if you read the book Brave New World, there's this by Aldous Huxley, right? It's like this dystopian future. And what they're doing is they're taking the kids away from this mother child bond. I guess the point that I'm saying is like every like AI scientific future I see, they literally can't replace the necessity for the human child infant mother bond. Like that's the whole myth of Superman, is that Superman was good because he had a loving earthly mother. Like you can't replicate that with science. And that's what Aldous Huxley's book, Brave New World, is showing. Is like you destroy humanity when you try and like synthetically, scientifically manage that human relationship.
Ooh.
But I think surrogacy can be great for women that can't have kids, like they're themselves.
I mean, I think right now, I mean, if you what they're finding, because it's such a young science, is that, and I'm like, I know what you mean. Like I have family members who are really good people and they had to turn to surrogacy for that. But children who are born through surrogacy have incredibly high rates of mental health issues, depression, anxiety. Like I know everyone does, but theirs are like off the charts, and they don't have a lot of research for it. Geez, like, am I just going to create more hate for us? I'm so sorry. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Megan. The science is so young because surrogacy hasn't been practiced for long enough. But when you have a gestating woman, that baby's heart synchronizes with the gestating woman. That the soothing, the voice, like the baby recognizes that woman's voice for 9 months. When you separate that, like Khloe Kardashian talked about this, like the baby is separated from that birth mother and it causes an infant trauma. And that is the explanation as to why there is such disproportionately high levels of mental health, self-soothing, mental anxiety in these kids that were birthed as surrogates. And it's something to consider, right? Like, obviously we want people to have kids, but it's also something to be said, like there's no such thing as a free lunch either.
Yeah.
Wow.
I get what you're saying. I just think surrogacy can be such an amazing tool for people.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like one of those moral quandaries where it's just like, man, for people that have no other option, you would never want to deny them the opportunity to have children. However, if your main consideration is the child itself, and there is data that goes to show that, oh, this may not be that's one of those, like, you need a council of like 50 apostles to figure that one out. I don't know if I feel qualified to judge,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I'm not necessarily judging. I just don't know is the full portrait of risk.
That it's not so simple as like, oh, well, dude, I'll carry your baby for you. 9 months. Oh, that's cool. Give me 40 grand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not as cut and dry is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. All right, babe, next super chat. Hit it.
Fog Defense says, welcome to all the religious bigots hate watching in the chat. Remember to like the stream.
Oh, jeez. Savage.
Steven Diamond says, you can go to Rexburg with Brittany as an excuse to go. Maybe we can also get a video done here. I would love to go back to Rexburg. I love Rexburg.
Yeah.
Ed 2276 LDS says, first car was a 1976 Chevy Monte Carlo.
Oh, geez, man. This brother's classic. I got to look this up.
Okay. Alicia Brown says, thank you, ladies, for the episode. Just listened to it with Miss Tilly, home from Transplant Bloods. It opened a convo with her about them. Would love a Young Women Ladies episode on it.
On transplants?
No,
I think she's talking about garments. An episode about garments, and it opened up a conversation with her and her.
Well, go. This is the first time you spoke all night.
Well, hello.
You know?
I just was scarfing down a piece of pizza, and then I got my puppy. Da-da-da-da. So, yeah, hi.
Dude,
what?
Look at this car. A 1976.
In today's video, you'll go.
A 1976 Monte Carlo is actually a pretty savage ride, dude. I'm going to pull this up right here. This is what a 1976 Monte Carlo looks like. This is like old school. Oh gosh.
Not gonna lie, I had one of my mom had one of those. It was green. It was like a avocado green. And I thought it was dope.
Didn't Foxy Brown drive a convertible Monte Carlo in one of her movies?
Foxy Brown, probably.
You know, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it wasn't either that or else it was.
How do you even know who Foxy Brown is? I'm confused right
I don't
now.
know. I'm sitting over here like I have no idea.
I grew up in Los Angeles, girlfriend. Who doesn't know who Foxy Brown is?
Okay.
I mean, there was Huggy Bear back in the day with not the Dukes of Hazzard. That was
Carden, how
Come on.
old are you?
I'm not-
I
I
just
just-
feel like what?
No, this is like
Who did I marry?
this is premier black culture of like the 1970s that were some of the first crossover films, like
Okay,
like
newsflash,
Shaft.
though.
You know Shaft?
Newsflash, Carden, you're not black.
Yeah, I know. Joe Biden reminded all of us. You know what I'm saying? No, but come on. The first major crossover films were generally detective films, and also I did the documentary. Come on, King Cohen, and he's
Oh,
considered the
yeah,
Martin Luther
okay.
King of filmmaking. He's the one that did Hell Up in Harlem with your boy. Come on, he was the quarterback back in the day. Really big. Fred Williamson. You know what I'm saying? Yaphet Kotto, the first black man in space, and Aliens, which is a really good one right there.
Sweet.
And then there was another really, 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 really cool character that you could never have on film nowadays. But they would always have, like in the 70s, they always had like super, super cool cars, kind of like the opening scene of Undercover Brother. I think, was that a Monte Carlo? I
That
don't
was
know.
a good movie. I like that movie. That was a funny
Yeah,
movie.
that was a funny.
But
movie.
that Monte Carlo is so fire. I want one.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. So,
Hold on,
my
super
man.
chats. Let's
Yeah, super
get
chats.
caught
Hit
up.
it. Hit it.
Crandall Logan says AI can't take my job. AI can't steal cat converts.
Catalytic converters.
Oh, okay.
I just realized that too.
Okay.
Catalytic converter.
didn't
I
get
thought
that.
like a male feminist, he had converted to owning cats instead of dogs.
I love cats. Okay, Andrew Lee. Been listening for a while, have been inactive for years, and this show has helped get me back. Was able to baptize my daughter last year. I've got so much to say, but we'll save it for an email. Haha. Also, Carden, if you're ever in Arizona, let's go ride.
Oh,
Sweet.
dude.
You mean
what
like
does-
motorcycles?
Yeah, what does he ride? Hey, babe,
What?
are you going to come with us?
No.
Okay.
But have fun.
As a lawyer, Megan, your opinion on a dude with a motorcycle?
Love.
Shut up, really?
Love.
Do tell. Why? Hit it.
They're just dangerous and full of testosterone, and they like to be out in the wild, and they feel kind of invincible. I love it.
Oh, shut up. That's my girl. I love it. Brittany, you got a story to tell
No.
about us and motorcycles?
That was one of your things, your non-negotiables. When we were getting married, he said, I will have a motorcycle. And I said,
So when it started getting
okay,
serious.
just make sure the life insurance is really high.
Oh, that's not what you said.
No, I
But-
said, oh, okay, sure, that's fine.
Actually, I don't know if you had this, Rachel. You can tell me if you had this, but did you have like a serious convo with your husband before you got married? Of like, okay, cool, it's kind of getting serious now, and we're talking about the M word, you know. But here's a couple of non-negotiables or non-starters for me. Did you have one of those convos?
Yeah.
Do you have any interesting things that you can
do,
share?
But it's like, it's not why you think. I cannot be with someone who drinks alcohol. I mean, I guess this kind of happened before because my family has so much alcoholism in it, like tragic amounts that like when I was teenager, there's nothing. It almost has less to, like we joke about it in my family. You're either Mormon or you're an alcoholic. Like you're either super sober or you're just like I'll have to sit down with my kids and be like, look, some people can moderate and have a choice. You don't. So I said, like, we were getting very serious and I was like, you don't have to do this. I'm not going to make you do anything. Like, you don't, but I just can't drink alcohol. This was when we were at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, which was like a bunch of functioning alcoholics. And he just stopped. He was, he wasn't particularly active at the time. But I guess I'm outing him a little.
We kind of we deduced
But
that.
he just stopped drinking. He just wasn't even, he was a cat, he was just stopped. And ever since then, I've just been like, I just need you to know for me, this is like, I can't. So that was like a more,
Really?
that's my fabulous family genetic line thing.
No, that's
Were you
cool.
looking for something more shallow than that? Like I couldn't date a guy with a beard or something?
No. Just whatever you want to share. Mine were pretty interesting.
Yeah, I want to hear.
We don't have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Brittany's the perfect woman.
We're
Brittany's the
good.
perfect woman, so like
I
you
don't-
don't even
like-
need to have standards.
So we still have super chats. So like Elder E, you know,
Okay,
he
okay.
said,
Well, I gotta
Brittany's
do the
pivoting.
he
payoff.
said off topic.
Yeah, I'll tell him the one. The first one though, what was the very, very first one that I said?
I don't remember.
The very first ones I said, I didn't own a motorcycle at the time when I first asked her out because I'd sold mine in New York, but I hadn't purchased one in California yet. So I was just driving my regular Chevy Tahoe SUV, right? And so I told her, I said, look, I'm a motorcyclist. And I know I've heard a lot of talk in your family about not liking motorcycles. She has family members who literally have like their children will be written out of their will if they get on a motorcycle. They are so averse to motorcycles.
I don't think it's that serious.
You know, I'm not outing, I'm not naming names, and I love them all, and they're great people, and that might be their coping mechanism with their families, which I think is fine. I personally enjoy threatening my children as well. So, you know, like
Okay,
that.
well, it comes from. I mean, so I had an uncle who abused some substances,
And lost a leg.
lost a leg on a motorcycle crash, went through a barbed wire fence, tore his leg off. So yeah, we a little hesitant about motorcycles.
So anyway, I said I've been hearing some anti-motorcycle talk, and just so you know, I'm a motorcyclist. I'm gonna have a motorcycle, and when that happens, like, first off, are you down with that? She's like, oh, I'm totally down with it. I was like, yeah. Well, when I go to purchase it and we're married, are you gonna keep being down with it? Yeah. 3 years later, I went to purchase one. The KZ1000. She's like, I don't want you on a motorcycle. I don't want you on a motorcycle. And I was like, we talked about this.
It's in the prenup.
You know,
Come on.
This was one of 5 things we talked about. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that.
And do you have it? Yes, you do. Moving on.
Yes, and
Okay.
you've been, and you've fulfilled every single one. There's only one of them, one of our 5 that has not been tested yet.
I don't remember.
I haven't had to kiss a chick on film yet, right?
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
was that a
one.
deal? Did you have to say that?
The
He said I can't get jealous if he gets cast in a movie and
Oh
has
my
to kiss
god!
on
Yeah, 'cause,
I
well,
would
I would-
hate
I was
those
doing
conversations.
more modeling and acting back then. All right, and I told her, I said,
You
look.
just spell that one out. Oh.
It's I was like, it's par for the course. And I was like, trust me, it's not that romantic. Half of them have bad breath. They're short. You got a camera and this. Back then they used tungsten lights, not LED lights. So you have this giant soft light on you that's super hot. You're trying not to sweat. The makeup artist is coming up to you every 3 seconds, putting more that rougey crap on you. I was like, okay, look, I don't want to be messing with this. None of this weird jealousy thing if I got to do something like that, right? And so,
Look, and I've been fine with it. I said, look, it's the queen or no one. Like,
yeah.
go for it.
And so I just cast Brittany as the chick I kissed kissing all the commercials or the videos or the whatever.
Okay, anyway, this is getting way
And
too
that works
personal.
out.
Can
Yeah,
we do
it's all
some
good. We'll
super
move on.
chats?
We'll move
Okay.
on.
Elder E says, off topic, were you guys ever scared of serial killers in California? No,
You ever met one?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, would I know? I don't know.
That's kind of scary of a question, though.
I mean, I guess there are a lot, like,
Did you guys see that Netflix show with Anna Kendrick about like the
Yes, on the
girls
dating
on
show?
yes, and she
Yes.
like interacts with a serial killer,
yeah,
and it was accurate. I was like, that's
that was freaky.
Well, dude, I got to tell you that, like, I can see why people ask, because think about it. We have a storied history here in California. The Zodiac Killer, the Hillside Strangler,
The Manson murders.
the Manson murders happened 20 minutes from my house.
That's so
There's
scary.
so much coming out about that right
So
now with the
scary.
JFK files.
Yep.
Are you following that? Like the
Well,
MK
Robert F.
Ultra
Kennedy was killed.
Stuff associated with Manson, the
I haven't
Manson
seen
murders.
that.
Like
I haven't seen that.
Dude, I've done
idea.
a termite job on the property where the Manson family lived. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did the neighbors of where they killed. Like, where what's crazy is the house that Roman Polanski's wife, Shannon Tate, was killed in. That's just a private residence. It was bought and sold like after the murders. It's not like a museum or anything. It's a private residence.
Can you imagine buying that house?
Dude,
Like, there's probably some bad.
you
news
can
here.
drive up to it and
Wait,
look in
you're
the gate,
selling
and it
that?
looks just like the movies. It looks just like the movies, and it's kind of weird, but it's like, you know how when you buy a house, you have to disclose if somebody committed like suicide in the house, or if like people think it's haunted, or like
Yep.
whatever. Could
There's
you
a murder or
imagine?
homicide? Yep.
Yeah, could you just imagine just being like, the Manson murders happened here. You're just like, whoa, we going to Airbnb this and people going to pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to be really weird. But yeah, there's all these places are regular homes now. And yeah, so we've actually had what's it called? The hometown that I grew up in had its own serial killer in the 70s called like the Wolf of whatever. I don't remember.
Wall Street.
No. And yeah, and the guy in our ward he wrote a book and he's trying to release it. I talked to him about doing the audio.
I thought you were going to say a guy in our ward was a serial killer. I was like, what?
No, I haven't. No. He confessed that, but not attorney-client privilege, but clergy penitent privilege prevented me from telling law enforcement. No, I'm just kidding. But the judge of the Hillside Strangler that has notes that were said behind closed doors and are now past their time of like public discourse or whatever, he was writing a book, but the judge for the Hillside Strangler was in our ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a cool old guy. He was cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
dude. So, and yeah, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The riots happened like 15 minutes from our house. Hey, when you were dating Snoop Dogg, do you remember when they had that riot at Magic Mountain, Brooke?
Did you say Snoop Dogg?
Yeah. Megan was dancing in his music videos. You were dating him. You know, welcome to LA. Right?
Oh, boy.
No, or was it P. Diddy before he was outed?
You know you have to watch what you say on here because you get me into so much trouble.
Oh, shut up, really?
You're being so quiet, Brooke.
You get me into so much trouble. It's like,
She just said like 2 words.
I didn't know you dated Snoop Dogg.
Right now,
I didn't know you went on a date. Like, what's going on with you over there? Like, I thought it was just me and you, babe.
Right now, Snoop Dogg's throwing his bong against the wall and just be like, it was in our non-disclosure agreement.
Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, be
gracious.
honest, you ever kissed a rapper?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
So
Okay,
I'm telling you, it's an
moving on.
LA thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Andrew Lee says he's got a KX250. He's also single.
Oh. Who is this? Oh, not
And-
O for me, by the way.
And say, wow.
Megan, you like motorcycles?
I love motorcycles.
Okay. Hey, well, we got somebody with KX250 here.
Andrew, meet Megan. Megan, meet Andrew.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, this brother's got money, too. He's just straight up dropping indulgences, man. You know, that's funny.
Josiah Flynn. Speaking of detective shows, we need a modern day Miami Vice type show, but with the protagonist being LDS.
Ooh.
There you go.
Josiah handled that. I like it.
Andrew Lee again. He says the KZ is awesome. If you're talking street, I've got Kawasaki Z900.
Ooh.
Okay, that's more of a
And-
crotch rocket. I have a KZ1000P, which is actually an X prop bike. It's the police version of the KZ1000. The model didn't change from 1974 all the way to 2004, 2005. It was the exact same for literally 30 or 40 years. They didn't change a single thing on it. And what's interesting was mine was a prop bike in the Terminator television series or mini series, but mine was a prop bike in Terminator for a while. You know, they used a bunch of them. And Mad Max, the original Mad Max with Mel Gibson in the 70s. All those bikes that crashed were KZ1000Ps because the cheapest bikes they could buy were ex-cop bikes that were getting sold at auction. And they needed to buy like 7 or 8 of them so they could destroy them on the highway. So, yeah, mine is a KZ1000P that used to be a cop bike. So it's kind of funny. I have a white helmet that makes me look like a CHP guy
He
when I'm
literally
driving
looks
along.
like a cop when he's driving it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's actually pretty funny.
okay.
People like slow down and they let me go by. And it's like, oh, well, thank you. You know.
So I have to say this out loud because it warrants the point.
Okay.
So the whole topic about garments and the tank top garments and that whole shtick as to why we're even on this
Oh,
live.
I don't remember what that was.
Yeah,
What
right? What are you
yeah.
talking
I
about?
don't know.
Well, my my oldest daughter Taya, hi. She gave me the idea to talk about it, but she's actually tuning in right now, and she's like,
What's up,
she-
Taya?
What's up, Taya? She just asked me, what's even going on? I don't know. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? I don't want to hear what she just texted me. I'm not going to say that. Taya, stop.
I got-
Okay. Curlum theory, waiting to hear Bill Reel on the Epstein list. Oh, geez.
Oh, savage.
Okay, anyway, now we're all caught up with super chats. Do we want to go over... I feel like we have good vibes going on now, but do we want to go over comments that we got?
We could. If you guys want to go over the comments, respond to the comments, take us home, put a cap on it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh, Megan's like... getting
Okay,
pissed out.
cool. All right, let's do it. We're fighting back. We're fighting
I
back.
just have can I say
Yeah.
something? Oh, what a surprise. Rachel has a comment.
yeah.
I don't know as it's helpful to always read comments because it makes you self-censor.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, just know, like, you guys making Megan cry, like, is only going to make Megan and a lot of us unconsciously button up more. And the last time I checked, you came here because you didn't want us to be these, like, little, like, PR robots who work for the church PR department. Like, you want us to be actual people. And just know that, like, if you want authenticity, like, these are covenant-keeping women who are being vulnerable. Like, I just think it doesn't hurt my feelings. Like, but I don't read the comments. Because I don't want to change. I don't want to, like, cater to what people think. And
Yeah.
you
I
know
see
what
what you're saying.
Absolutely. And I think what really messed with me was that, and I'm sure people are going to disagree, I was really trying to be tactful and politely respond. Like, actually, thank you so much for being here, but this is what I was trying to say. And still people would double down. And that's when I just lost it. But the blessing out of all of this was that Cardin had my back. Brittany had my back. You had my back, Rachel. Brooke had my back. Shout out to David, sort of Laban. He also sent me a very lovely supportive text. It's just, we all rallied when people were being not so kind. And there's a difference between disagreeing and not being kind. For instance,
100%.
I did get the jab and then I got the booster. So, but I still love Brittany. We can still have a conversation and we can still live in peace. I have a different perspective on surrogacy. We can still live in peace. But people were just, again, you can disagree with me tactfully, but don't be nasty, especially when you're trying to change the narrative. I didn't say don't wear your garments or anything like that.
We didn't even say we don't like them. We just said this is what we struggle with.
Guess what I'm wearing underneath my shirt?
No.
You know, which is nobody's business. But what I'm saying is, stop changing the narrative for me.
Oh, word. Well, you don't have to explain yourself.
Thank you.
And you're going to toughen up even more and learn to hate these people as much as I do. No, just kidding.
We're all related.
And I shouldn't say that though to the people that have legitimate concerns and have expressed them very tactfully that we have been addressing over the past 24 hours. One of them, like many people, I think, are just concerned with the sacred nature of things, which I completely understand. And I love the idea that we look for excuses to wear our garments, not for excuses to take them off.
But again, I'll reiterate, not once did we talk about the symbols.
Yes, I got
Not
you.
once did we defile them in any means.
You are perfect, and you said nothing wrong.
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Okay, cool, awesome. See, it's not
Moving
hard,
on.
guys. It's not hard, guys. It's not hard. No, just kidding. So anyway, all right, let's respond to the last couple of comments here. Rachel, poor girl's got to go pretty soon, you know, and this is just a fun, short little follow-up live stream. So let's do the top 7. 7 is a number of completion. You want to lead that charge, Brittany, Megan? Who wants to take them?
Well, I put them in the Discord.
Oh, you put them in the Discord. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to rattle them off right now really fast.
I
The
don't know how
Discord
many
is
I
so
put in.
fun. By the way, shout out to everybody. If you have not joined the Discord yet, you totally have to join the Discord. There's a link to the Discord on the wardradio.com website. It's totally awesome. And it's a fun place to find a bunch of like-minded people. I'm not seeing them, babe. I see Book of Brooks.
It's in.
It's in the host.
Yeah.
Oh, I am so sorry. I was looking at the Latter-day Ladies. Here it is. Brittany the Shadow coming in hot with all kinds of comments. Here we go with the first one. Oh, no. Here we go with the first one. Boom. Nuskelberg says, this reminds me, can y'all, actually, no, you read them, babe. You read them.
I can't read that far.
Oh, you can't? Okay,
No,
it says, That reminds me, can you all talk real about how rude it is for women to wear short skirts to church? It's distracting, especially sitting in the cultural hall where there is no view or table to block the view.
Oh boy.
Even if it's just short enough to be resting on the knees when sitting, it doesn't hang down in front of the knees. I feel bad even looking in her direction because I know there's a possibility of being thought to be staring here. It sucks.
He's saying skirts should be even below. Not even garments are below the knee. I want to make that very clear. So, sorry. Like, I don't even, like, if you think skirts to the knee are immodest, we gonna really disagree with that.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, next one. That's kind of gives me a Okay. Next one says, the concern over being judged pretty much vaporizes if you're doing what you actually covenanted to do. You're feeling shame because you're doing something wrong and you know it. Other people won't be able to point it out if you aren't obviously doing it. Huh.
Call on me.
Okay. Megan.
Being reverent over there, Megan.
Okay, yes.
Trying super hard. If I didn't have faith in my Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, and I didn't have my friends at Word Radio and my friends in the comments, this could be the origin of my villain story. It's comments like this multiplied times what are we up to, 400 or something?
Yeah.
Not to say all of them are bad, but it's comments like this with the intention to hurt, punch below the waist. That makes me think, I bet Alyssa Grenfeld heard stuff like this. I bet this army of Exmos have heard comments like this and have had people just really go at it no matter how hard you try to explain yourself. People are just so dead set. But I'm not going to become a villain.
I love it. Also, I think some of the reason why there was a lot of reaction is because we're listening to 7 women from the diaspora. I mean, Rachel lives way out on the East Coast, grew up in the Pacific Northwest, right? Aren't you from the Pacific Northwest?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm from New England.
Oh, New England. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you grew up in New England. Brittany grew up.
The other side.
The other side, yeah. Brittany grew up in California. Brooke grew up. Brooke is the only one that had some time in Utah in her formative years, but also was later on and was only half of her childhood. Brittany's a Californian. Megan's a total Californian. So you have people that are used to a much more pluralist society that's not as homogenous. And so I think there's a lot of people that have been very hurt by woke. And so having been hurt by woke, anything that smacks of it, they kind of have a knee-jerk reaction to, because there's been a lot of families that have been interrupted by the trauma of...
But how is what we said woke? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Oftentimes, like, for example, a lot of people are saying, like, who are you going to have on next? Julie Hanks, or who are you going to have on next?
Yeah, I told Rachel that one. I was like, oh, they're calling you Julie Hanks, or like all of us Julie Hanks.
Brittany calls me up, and it's like, what? It's like 11:20, right? In the East Coast. Like, I'm committed to this, and I have 4 kids. I'm going to have to wake up and bring to school in the morning. So, but she goes, Rachel, they're calling you Julie Hanks. And I was like, I'll be there. Okay. The distinction I want to make between the conversation that we felt like we were having within the confines of an understanding of, like, oh, we're all covenant keeping, garment wearing women here. Like, let's make, it's like when a person you admire who's really healthy and fit, and you think it's just their genetics, tells you, oh no, I wake up early and I work out and I like write down my food plan. You're like, oh my gosh, they put in effort. Like that, if anything, that's what we want everyone to understand, is like, we are covenant keeping, garment wearing. So we want to do this like women in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we put in effort. If that's a surprise, like, it's not just like a natural thing. What I notice about the Julie Hanks types of the world, and she's going to be replaced by new, young, and up and coming girls like Alyssa Grenfeld, Haley from Girls Camp podcast. They're going to recycle the same exact narratives, which is, don't do anything if it makes you feel bad, right? As opposed to letting principles being your guiding light, let your feelings, just, if the garments make you feel uncomfortable, just don't wear them. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. We're saying, like, strive for something, be human, allow yourself to grow and be human, versus, like, being guided by feelings and just throwing everything else to the wind. That's how I would contextualize it.
Hey, Brooke, can you see the comments on your screen in the Discord or no? The one by Rebecca Baca? This was a good one.
Yeah, I can. I was looking at some that I had screenshot too, but yeah, I can see it.
I'll read this one. You can read the next one. It says, these are faithful. So this is actually a very positive comment right here. We got Rebecca Baca.
Yeah, I commented to that one.
Oh, you did hit it. Why don't you read it really fast? So
She says, these are faithful women talking about their feelings about the garment. How many women can't talk about this at church because of all the, quote, I love the way they feel. I can't imagine not wearing them right. There's an excuse for not wearing them, blah, blah, blah. Not encouraging, not meeting people where they are, not teaching why they are cool, just being judgmental and looking down on people. Not cool. Just because you live in 300-degree heat and are fine doesn't mean you get to judge anyone else. Mind your own business. Stop judging and be like Jesus. And I commented, love you, friend. Kindness and unconditional support and understanding, priceless.
I'm going to speak for my boy Jonah Barnes here. He said, look, sometimes God gives us commandments. We don't have to say that we love them. We just have to do them, right? Yeah. And I have to be honest with you. Sometimes when I hear these people at churches saying like, oh, I love them. I was like, man, you got Stockholm syndrome or something because ain't nobody loving this. You know?
Oh, no, there are some people in the comments that are loving it.
It's just like, man, if I could walk around naked, I would. All right. With or without the secular that goes over the religious, I would just be like in the frumpiest of flip-flops and like not even pants with belt loops, like one of those little ties that you get on sweats. Like that's what I would love to be, comfy all day. But hey, no, we don't.
And again, like if you don't struggle with wearing garments, okay, fine. Like put in what you do struggle with. Maybe it's alcoholism, like Rachel talked about earlier. Like, what if we came on the podcast and said, I really struggle with alcohol and I feel like I'm an alcoholic, but I'm really trying. And people would be like, in the comments, why can't you just put down the bottle? Like, like that would be so hurtful. And for us to share a struggle and then for people to berate that, like, I don't know. I'm just like, wow. Like, did you miss your baptismal covenant? Like, bear one another's burdens, like help each other out. I don't know. It was so confusing, the comments.
It's almost as though we have two problems in our church.
What?
We have the cry bully woke scolds on one side and the left, but then we got the frogmos and the Sadducees on the right. And sometimes, unfortunately, they share a lot together. Now, there's nothing wrong with appealing to the greater angels of both sides, which I would like to think that some people are doing in an inarticulate way, and that's why we're coming together now. But also there's some people that do it in a very inarticulate way. And hopefully they repent and we repent of our wrongdoings and all of us just get better and closer to Christ. We got to welcome to the Word Radio Wigwam, Dr. Apocryphus, the Associate Professor of all things apocryphal. Jonah Barnes is here to join us last minute before we go.
Hold on.
What? Brittany, what? Brittany, say it.
Hold on, Jonah. I'm about to get salty right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot to say, and it's salty.
Stephen Ogle. Usually I don't say chats that aren't not super chat, but here we go. This is what he said. I don't want to sound insensitive. Right
and
there.
You're about
You're
to.
Gonna be
You're about to.
Okay.
Okay.
But did she just compare wearing underwear to alcoholism?
Okay.
Is that what I said? Or did I say, maybe you have a struggle? Maybe you struggle with this. Maybe you struggle with that. Did I compare the two? No. I just said sometimes people struggle with things. And let's reach out and help people instead of berating them. That's what I said, Stephen.
Okay. Any response, Stephen, must be in super chat form. $20 or more. No.
$50 or more.
All right.
Pay up.
Jonah Barnes, the Associate Professor of all things apocryphal.
Woo!
Welcome to the Word Radio Wigwam, my man. Tell us what's up.
Hello, everybody. I am psyched. Look at all these star-studded women you have there in the studio on Zoom. Rachel Patterson dropped a absolutely savage video today. Everybody should go to Women in Priesthood and check that out. I literally stopped. I paused it to just laugh because it was fantastic. So everybody go watch Rachel Patterson's takedown of toxic femininity. But look, you can't have your cake and eat. I don't want to hear any whining about how come there aren't more voices defending us online, or why is online also toxic, when you come after our women who are standing up to defend the Church of Jesus Christ. I don't want to hear any more of this whining anymore, okay? All right, because they're putting themselves in the spotlight and talking about very genuine things. Look, wearing garments is not always a walk in the park. It's not supposed to be a walk in the park. That's kind of the point of sacrifice, is that it's sometimes hard to do. So don't be shocked when they're like, hey, sometimes this is hard to do. And, oh, how dare they say that? Like, of course.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Like repentance. Boy, I don't love repenting. Oh, I can't believe you don't love repenting. Nobody loves repenting. Repenting sucks. That's the point of repenting, is that it sucks, okay? Like, it's not supposed to be easy. Jesus Christ bled from every pore. And if we have to take a little ounce of that upon ourselves for sacrifice, it's not supposed to be easy. It's like, oh, take this cup from me. And like, oh, what? You don't want to drink the bitter cup now? Oh, well, someone's not committed to the atonement. Sit down, okay? Sit down.
Yeah,
right?
girl, bye.
Like, these people we're all sacrificing to do our best to follow the commandments and covenants of Jesus Christ. And it's a hard road. It's supposed to be hard. And we're all growing and we're all learning. So, look.
And everyone's like shocked that, like, oh my gosh, things are hard for you in the covenant path. You shouldn't talk about that online. And I'm like,
wait a minute.
We are catering to people who are in their 90s and kids who are in their teens on this channel. Like, there's gonna be a spectrum of strength in that.
And so we're serving each other by not talking about it, by pretending like everything's hunky-dory. It isn't. Sometimes wearing your garments is hard. Yes. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes going to 3-hour church or 2-hour church or 9 a.m. church or going to the temple, it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. And you're allowed to say, hey, you know what? This kind of sucks sometimes. Of course it does. It's the covenant path. It's a hard path. It's not the covenant water slide. Okay, and that's ex-Mormonism. That's the covenant water slide. That's where you go. Okay, it's kind of hard. So don't be shocked and don't come after our women because they're saying, yeah, you know, this isn't super easy. Yeah, no crap, Sherlock. Of course it's not. I don't know. Look, don't come after our women, guys. Don't come after our women. Back off. Our women are prettier, smarter, and more productive than any y'all's women. Woo. So don't come after our women. Okay? And
shots fired. Yeah.
But look, none of these women are taking off their garments and rebelling and saying, that's it, I'm breaking my covenants. That's the opposite of what they're saying.
100%.
Opposite of what they're saying.
100%.
They're saying, despite this being a sacrifice, this is symbolic of the atonement of Jesus Christ, the covering blood of our Savior. And so, yes, I'm going to wear this even it's hard. Guess what? Bearing a cross, actually kind of hard. Who said that? Somebody said that. Somebody said, take up your cross. I can't remember who said that. And it was Jesus Christ who said that. Okay. He said, yeah, take up my yoke, take up my burden. Okay. Like, and it's
I thought he said he was yoked and hallowed be his gains. You know?
Some of those Jim Caviezel was looking pretty cut for that part. Okay,
yeah, I got Megan to laugh at that one.
Really
yeah.
Don't pretend like you don't know. But look, no, look, ladies, I'm so sorry. Look, for every, like, one troll can have a really loud voice, and there's a couple people who are being a little snitty, a little snooty, a little snappy, a little snippy. Okay, and making you girls feel bad. Don't feel bad. Okay?
I don't feel bad at all for being human. I don't feel bad.
The Church
Sorry.
of Jesus Christ. The leadership, the brethren made this change. Newsflash. We didn't make this change. The brethren made this change. Jesus Christ is the head of the church. He made this change. You got a problem with it. You're mad at our women for being like, hey, this is a great change. Sorry. Unless you've been in Mars on a rock, under a rock in a cave with your fingers in your ears and your eyes shut. The church is led by Jesus Christ, not us at Ward Radio. Okay? So when they make a change to the garment, it's not, don't blame us for it. Good grief. We didn't make the change. I don't know. Don't come after our women, people. Don't do it. Come after Cardin. Come after me. But don't nip it.
Nah, you can take them. I don't want them. You have them. Go after Jonah. Go after Jonah. He writes like apocryphal books about things you're not supposed to read.
You know?
I get plenty of hate from these. These are the same people who refuse to read my book because it's not written by an academic, so I refuse to countenance this writing. But don't look, guys. We're all trying to defend the kingdom. All right, we don't need this friendly fire. All right, so
This is the
garments are
thing.
hard. Newsflash.
This is the thing that I struggle with in the church, and why when I go to church, I literally go to church and people are like, man, she doesn't talk to anybody. No, I don't, because this is how people are. I'm not trying to hear any of it. I'm trying to go to
everybody.
There are people. I'm just saying, and I'm going to leave it at that. There are people, and I just don't want to hear it.
I will agree with you if you tell us what rapper you kissed.
What? Not gonna
Come
say it.
on. What club? What club?
Not
Was that the
going
club?
to share none of that
No?
because it's so private, and a lady does not kiss and tell.
So you made
Wasn't
out.
Megan?
No.
Wasn't Megan in a rap video? Wasn't she an extra in a rap video?
Yeah, dude.
Fully clothed.
Fully clothed.
Well, yeah, but I'm
Yeah, it wasn't like WAP
from
2007, you know?
Thank you so much, Jonah, for having our backs. I really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Jonah.
Oh, don't talk about our women, people. That is not cool. Okay, I love you all so much. Go check out Rachel's channel. Rachel is like 7,000 subs. What's going on? Don't make me use a second string cuss word. I'll do it. I'll say flipping. I'll say, what the flip is going on? But she needs to get to 10K. Go check out Women
Jonah.
Priesthood and subscribe and back off our women. We're wearing our garments. We're all doing our best. All praise be to Jesus. Have a good night. I got to go put my kids to sleep.
Bye, Jonah.
Bye, Jonah.
See you guys.
Bye.
Jonah brought the ark of love. I love it. Thank you, Jonah.
By the way, I don't think flipping is a second string cuss word. I think it's like a third string.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're full of, then there's that word, and then there's crap, and then you use for parents that are really conservative and think even crap is too vulgar, that's when you use what the flip, or I don't know. That's apparently Jack Black loved Mormons back in the day because of the funny words that they would use. And by the way, one of the most hilarious comedy videos. You guys know Stephen Jones runs the Scripture Central show.
Yeah.
Stephen Jones is Real. He was a comedian in Humor U. I was one of the founding members of Humor U, the stand-up comedy club. He's just 1 or 2 years younger than me and came in afterwards. He did a hilarious video on all the words that Mormons say that are fake cuss words. He's sitting in a hammock and it flips over. He's like, oh, what the flip? Fetch. And the movie went on for 2.5 minutes using all of the euphemisms that our culture has generated instead of swearing. That is so hilarious. I'm going to try and pull it up as our outro as we finish these comments. Brittany, can you finish these super chats?
Yes. Hold
Hit
on.
it.
1 sec. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Shoot. Anyone remember where we left off? 'Cause
There
I'm gonna have to
was-
scroll.
Okay, confession. Okay, so
I see
Mag
it.
Larson came in. Welcome to Straight Up Indulgences.
Okay.
And
Straight up
Polly
indulgent. He's
Nikes.
another straight up indulgent. Did we already
Holy
say that?
smoke! Another one?
Yeah. Mag Larson 7.
I am going to do a Straight Up Indulgences live stream within 7 days just for these cats. Hey, Mag Larson 7, when do you and Brother Lee want to get together with the other 2 people? Dude, this is actually going to be really fun. You know what I'm saying? Just yo, what's up, dudes? We're the Indulgence Committee, right? That's going to be so funny.
That's awesome. W in the chat. Welcome to the Ward Radio Wigwam. Mag Larson.
Yeah, Mag Larson. Here we go, my man. This is awesome.
Polly Nikes 2000. Okay, confession, honesty time. I struggle with taking idiots and feminist ideology seriously.
Talking idiots. Okay.
Okay.
I think there's many that share your sentiment, my friend. I'm allergic to awkward situations as well.
It's true.
So, yeah, hit it. Next one.
Fog says, Jonah, my EQ president loves your book too. Oh, we'll have to tell him.
Oh, yeah. And I was in Egypt, and there was a woman on the Go and Do Travel tour that was reading Jonah's book
Oh, lovely.
in Egypt. So that was pretty cool. Brittany,
Josiah Flynn. I'm a fat guy wearing law enforcement in the South. I'd love to see shorter Under Armour type garments with green or tan options for uniform wear.
it's sad they make them for military guys,
I was
but
going
they
to say,
don't
don't
for
they have that?
But you have to have been ex-military, and there's many military. There's many law enforcement that were ex-military. That's a very common pipeline. You come home from the Marines, and then you serve in the police department where you are, and so on and so forth. Or in Rachel's case, you serve in the state department somewhere.
I can't qualify.
You've killed people. You've killed people.
But I can't. I've never served in the military, so I can't.
But your
qualify.
husband
My
has.
husband can.
Your husband's a dark,
if you're
scary
active
guy.
Duty military and
Yeah, he's a spy that was background checked on you and knew everything about you before he met you. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I'm taking that one. You know,
that was or more. I just waited him out until he was like,
look, when things go bump in the night here, I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about your husband. You know what I'm saying? Just like, where is he? Where is he? I got my 9. You know what I'm saying? So.
Rachel, this one's for you. So Fog says, I loved the video Rachel posted. Jonah's right. Go watch.
Okay, so we are going to do a bit of a pivot too on Word Radio Ladies. We are really going to start pushing back on some of the younger new crop of kind of, the church is so sexist girls. So what I did was a breakdown on my channel on Julie Hanks' divorce, Valerie Hamaker's recent choice to leave the church, and both of these women have been pretty influential in getting women to basically just various aspects of leaving the church. I've seen it in my own life, leaving marriages. My point, though, is if you follow their narratives and their arguments, you can see how this younger generation of ex-mo feminists, Alyssa Grenfell, which the Ward Radio Ladies, we've done debunkings on, the girls, Haley from Girls Camp podcast, they're just recycling the same exact arguments. And who can, if Cardin comes on and says, the church isn't a bunch of patriarchal men, women will just say, well, you're sexist. Of course you'd say that, Cardin. Well, we as, lawyer Megan and Charlotte and Brittany and me and Brooke, look at us. We're not like pioneer, we're like pretty articulate women. We're going to start standing up and saying like, look, we wouldn't belong to a sexist church. In fact, we belong to a religion that celebrates and promotes the existence of a heavenly mother. Like, my point is, if this church is sexist, they're really bad at it. They're really bad at it because all they're doing is educating women, promoting them, helping them develop their talents, and celebrating the existence of a heavenly mother and heavenly father. Like, there's no other religion that does that.
Or rewind to Jonah, defending us at all costs in a dark, scary parking lot. Or Cardin taking time out of his day to call me as I'm having a mental breakdown over strangers. Like, get out of here. I'm tired.
Yeah. Savage.
Speaking of tired, listen to this.
The video, though.
Yeah.
Mason Fam says, for reals, going over comments is physically, emotionally, and spiritually exhausting.
I'm so tired.
You're all going to pass out tonight once your adrenaline runs out.
Hey, but we've recouped. We've had a little session here. It's 100%. All good. We're almost done with it. Next one. Hit it.
Fog says, the covenant path climbs up to the Holy of Holies.
Ooh, that's very true. That's very, very true. Self-sacrifice only gets harder and harder and harder. And that's why, actually, it's kind of a linguists are going to get pissed at me when I say this, and this is probably an oversimplification. But it's kind of a mistranslation, the straight and narrow path. Apparently in the original Aramaic or Hebrew or Greek or whatever it was written in, it's the narrow and narrowing path. As you go along it more, it gets more and more narrow as you spiritually hone in on what more you must sacrifice and what more you must hone and refine and so on and so forth. So I've always thought that when I read about the straight and narrow, that it's the narrow and narrowing. That was kind of a little linguistic nugget that was really interesting to learn when I learned it. Anyway.
Okay, Fog also says, it's not the water slide to the great and spacious.
Okay. Rock on. That's funny. That was Jonah's comment.
Okay, Polly Nikes says, actually, Cardin, I am here for the awkward conversations, usually because I threw the grenade initially. Frag out emotional weaklings.
Frag out! Emotional weaklings. That's funny. Joy Hansen. Oh, yeah. What? Joy, what's going on? Read Joy's.
Hi, Joy.
Joy says, world is at war. People want to know who is on their team. You see what jersey before I pass the ball, but G's or not does not always equal on the team. Give grace.
Ooh, very well said, Joy. Very well said. I really like that one. That's awesome. And then the last one, Polly Nikes.
Question for Rachel. In the Julie Hanks divorce adjudication, do we know yet who filed the paperwork as petitioner and respondent?
I don't know.
Yeah, we
Oh,
know.
I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
That's something I would not wish on my worst enemy, man. I feel very glad, babe, that you and we just get along.
Yeah.
And we have been spared
Yeah.
the
Sorry
ravages.
you donated $5 for me to tell you I don't know Polly Nikes.
You know?
But it's to a good cause.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, anyway, yeah. Okay, cool. So this was fun.
But can we get back to the comments? There's a couple comments I just can't.
Oh, yes. Okay, fine. We'll go. We'll choose your favorite ones
I'm
and just read them.
burning up inside. So
Hit it.
So from this lovely lady, I can't read I don't have my glasses on, but I think it says Karen Price.
Oh no.
No,
Karen
I'm
made a
sorry.
comment.
Sorry, it's Joanna Price. Sorry, I had to.
Oh,
bad.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
What? No, I had to I screenshot it and then. Anyway, she said, I won't be wearing a tank top. Stop. Oh.
No one's telling you have to.
And then somebody replied to that. I did, but I don't need to repeat what I said, but I was kind. And then somebody else said, thank you. Our little boys and girls will thank you. Church is supposed to be different experience than the one that we're forced to endure from the world. Not an exact carbon copy during sacrament meetings. So I am like, okay. I have no words.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to tell us what rapper you kissed.
Oh my
Okay, so
gosh.
let me clear it up because I'm already getting a hate text. Who in the world did you kiss? Ugly, mean, rawr. Who did you kiss? Okay, so for the record, I did not kiss a rapper.
Now you're running it back. Was it 50 Cent?
I did
Were
not
you the
kiss
chick
50
he was
Cent.
talking about in that
I
second album?
Didn't kiss 50 Cent.
No, you didn't?
No, but I
It
love
wasn't
his
a
voice.
mumble rapper, right?
I didn't do it.
Eminem?
It was
You made out with a white guy rapper.
Oh my gosh.
Eminem.
no Nick Mose from
Was it Vanilla Ice? Does that count as rap?
no.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, and here's another lovely ADMC Donna. I'm once again glad I didn't recommend this channel to my kids. You know what? This is real because when something comes up in life and you can't talk about it to your kids, I'm afraid for what's going to happen when your kids become teenagers and then grow up and then you can't talk to them about what's really going on in the world. Like,
Right, like you don't want
holy
your
sh-
kids to know it's okay if you struggle with the gospel, you can still be a good member. Like that's what you don't want to show your kids.
Yeah.
That's loony bin crazy.
Yeah, this is the first where I'm like, this is why we can't have nice things. Like to insinuate that talking openly and honestly about something that might be difficult, that frankly on a world scale is a nothing burger. Like Megan, you can attest to this.
Ready.
You are a lovely and beautiful and sensitive soul. And there's been times as a fresh member in the church, you've expressed some concern or angst over some kind of issue, right? And we've talked about it, and sometimes it's been tearful, sometimes it's been serious. But there's kind of been a consistent answer that me and Jonah and anybody else that have been lifetime members has given you, right? That these are big, fat nothing burgers no bishop would ever freaking care about in a million years. If somebody, I dare anybody, send their bishop this episode, he's going to get 30 seconds in. And he's going to be like, okay, no, I'm sorry. I've got a dude over here that's abusing his wife, and I have to wonder whether or not I'm sending one of my law enforcement guys in the few times of a week that he has off to go be with her. This family over here didn't eat in 2 days before they told me that they were out of food, okay? So-and-so's mortgage payment is about to default because somehow whatever X, Y, or Z thing happened, they're already on welfare. Like, these people and these men are drowning in real problems. Whether or not a girl thinks it's okay to wear garments going to the gym or not, WTF, I don't care. No, that's between you and the Lord. We look for excuses to put them on, not excuses to take them off. You're great. I recognize your face here. You come to church all the time. You're lovely. Great talk on Tuesday. Please don't bother me with this again. Unless you're here to volunteer to help out with the crazy person that's beating their wife, the kids that haven't eaten 2 days, or the lady that's about to default on her mortgage. Because this is where my head is right now. This is where your problems are.
Wow, I don't even think you breathed in that whole monologue. That was insane.
That's how I feel. Just like, I get, guys, like, I get that you want to teach your children the best principles, everything that is lovely, of good report, and praiseworthy. And temple worship is the ultimate human experience. It connects heavens with earth and so on and so forth. At the same time, if you are under the false delusion that by speaking of an issue, that you are endorsing an issue, you are why we can't have nice things in this church. You are why 64% of all millennials are inactive, because avoiding talking about sex doesn't make sex go away. It makes it so that people listen and learn about sex from somebody other than you. So your abstinence from talking about sex does not preserve your children from sexual conversation. It makes it so they're learning it from the worst place possible, the internet, their friends, bad magazines, bad influences, et al. Same thing applies with anything having to do with the church. You want your kids to come here and to learn about real life scenarios, assuming that it is age appropriate, which only you can decide. Why? Because I guarantee you.
Well, that was like a first.
That was a
string.
second. That was a second string.
Yeah.
That was second string swear word. Not. I guarantee flipping you would have been third string. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, okay, that they are going to have far more endorsement of faithfulness here than any. Name one other pro LDS live stream. Name one. Church doesn't have one. Young Men Worldwide doesn't do it. Young Women Worldwide sure as heck doesn't. Sure as heck. Third or second string.
No.
You don't know?
Guys,
okay, cool.
I gotta log off, but it's been real.
Yeah,
and
do
it's
your
been
thing.
Fun.
Do your thing. Well, we're all going to log off here in a second. We're all going to log off. Do you have any other last comments before we go?
I gotta catch up on super chats. What are you talking about, Brooke?
Okay, cool. Yeah, Brooke, before you jam, because I know you have a heart out.
And Rachel had to go too. She said bye. It was like
she
almost
did.
midnight on the East Coast.
No, that's true. I told her we'd only go until like 8, and we already wore that out. So actually, we're all going to sign off as soon as you finish these super chats, and we'll go. So just finish the super chats. If you got to bounce,
And
Brooke,
then
bounce.
I had one comment.
Well, then read the comment now. You go.
I was just gonna say somebody had talked about that you better be wearing your garments when he comes, and talking about Christ comes again. And I really feel strongly about the way that when we worship our Heavenly Father and we worship and we follow Jesus Christ's example, that if we really stop and think about it, this moment where we're talking about garments and it's changing, this really looks, to me, it feels like the story of Christ going around talking to everyone about Heavenly Father. And he's talking to people that he back then shouldn't be talking to. He's doing things that in his right mind, he's not in his right mind, according to the people that were surrounding him. It doesn't look the way that people thought it should look. And I would warn all of us to be ready for change and to have it not look the way that you think it should look. It should feel a certain way. And you should have love in your heart for all. You should have love in your heart for anyone that surrounds you and anyone that you can think of that's not next to you. And if you cannot do that, please take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I truly walking with the light of Christ in my heart? And if you can't say that, and if you want to place judgment on others, then this is why we're doing this.
No.
Amen.
Word. Brooke for president of the Relief Society.
Mic drop. I'm out.
Ready to make
2024,
some
yeah.
people really mad. Brooke for bishop. Oh my gosh! Oh my god! Feminist.
Yeah.
Oh.
Holla.
That was a joke, people. It was a joke.
That was funny. Okay, cool. Last couple here. Really fast. Actually, no, Brittany, can you catch us up on the rest of the super chats, and then we're gonna go
Sure.
here. We're gonna go.
I think we left off on El Marie. The purpose of tanks is to show off our guns. We are the uber holy weapons of mass conversion. Thoughts of an LDS military wife. That was funny.
Yeah.
Polly Nikes, I suspect that Julie Hanks filed as petitioner, just hoping to get confirmation eventually. I don't feel sympathy for fake Dr. Julie Hanks. That's pretty
Oof.
savage.
Oof. Well, for the record, she is indeed a doctor from a brick and mortar university. That is something that I have promised I would continually correct. I think by fake, you're saying fake news, like not meaning it's actually not real, but you're saying politically motivated, I believe is what he was trying to say. Polly Nikes, to clarify.
Okay.
But I hope she's okay. I consistently say that. I hope she is okay.
Yeah.
That's a brutality of life that I wouldn't wish upon anybody. Brittany, keep going.
Okay, Mag Larson 7. I rejoined the LDS last month after 20 years away. Y'all make learning about the gospel fun. Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you, Mag Larson.
Thanks. Mag Larson 7, who was first through 6. You know?
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Mag Larson's cool. I dig Mag Larson.
Yeah, and that's the straight up indulgences.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, y'all, dude, anybody that can afford it, straight up jump into straight up indulgences. I'm going to do a straight up indulgences live stream this week. What do you talk to a bunch of people that can afford that about? Hey, so how's all your dividends doing? You know, stock market's up lately. You know, I don't know. Like, watch, they're probably just a bunch of blue collar people that are super dedicated, and they're like, "This is my widow's mite."
Wow.
You know,
Who knows? We'll find out.
yeah.
Nathaniel Wilkerson says, "Do we really want to see tank tops in the chapel? Why not?" I don't understand that question.
Yeah, let me tell you where we want to. In Argentina, where it's sweltering hot and the air conditioning in Buenos Aires is not working. In the Philippines, where it's sweltering hot. In Equatorial Guinea, where it's sweltering hot. You know, heck, you'd probably appreciate it in Los Angeles. You know? So, yeah, tons of places. Although there's some people, like we're really, the Relief Society bat wings. You know, yeah,
There's a lot of memes about that.
Yeah, we got to.
Okay,
Batman.
Mason Pham says, speaking of sex, and to your point, Cardin, our friend who's a nurse shared how a young lady came in one day with a bruised belly button. No joke.
Urban legend.
Yeah, I don't know about that
Urban
one.
legend. I heard that urban legend too. That Mormons are so uneducated about sex that when left to their own vices, they tried the belly button.
Yeah, weird. Okay, okay. Butterfly says,
Not knowing where to stick it.
Butterfly says, if it is a sexist church, why would the church be so confirming to women leaving bad relationships?
Oh, that's very true.
True.
That's very
True.
true.
Facts.
Oh. So, anyway, yeah. So this was fun. A little bit cathartic.
Yeah.
A little bit of get back at them. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. This has been a ton of fun. If you can afford straight up indulgences, holy crap. I did that as a joke. I did that as a joke.
But
and
now we have
people,
3 people that have done it.
yeah, now people are signing up for it. Like, they deserve something. This is actually awesome. And I have to say that I am actually overwhelmingly grateful for the support that members and viewers of this channel have given. We hope that it becomes a welcoming place where everybody can express all kinds of different opinions, as long as in a kind and respectful way. And so hopefully we're enforcing that a little bit today. Any other final thoughts before we jam and before we go?
I don't think so.
No.
Megan, you got anything?
I'm good.
Was the
Yeah.
pizza good? Did you like the pizza?
It was really good.
It's pretty good. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We should do that again. We should start doing like regional activities.
I mean, now
different
that we have
places.
straight up indulgence people, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, for real. Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. You're all totally awesome. Big shout out to Butterfly Cuber, Mason Pham, Nathaniel Wilson, Mag Larson, Polly Nikes, L. Marie, Joy Hansen, Fog Defense, Joseph Flim, Curlon Theory, Andrew Lee, Elder E, Crandall Logan, Stephen Diamond, Ed 2276 LDS, and his Monte Carlo Kaori, and Mary Lou Howarth, and McBunny 8, HN Josiah and Arbin. Thank you so much for your guys' contributions today. Also, huge shout out to everybody that has been purchasing stuff off of our Amazon wish list. We have had all kinds of helpful items that have been shipped to us this week, especially from Mike, from the Smith family, and we got a book that we're going to be doing a review of, Margaret Barker's Temple Theology, from none other than Mark D. Holmberg. I think I might have had a shout out for these in another video, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm super grateful for all the help that you've been giving us. If you guys want to know how to support this channel, maybe you don't have a YouTube maybe you don't have a YouTube membership or the app, or know how to send super chats or something like that. Maybe you don't have a Venmo or a PayPal to be able to send us a contribution. Well, almost everybody has Amazon, and there's an open source and a public Amazon wish list, the Ward Radio wish list, that has all kinds of cool items. Everything from books about things we're going to be talking about with David Butler to dead cat microphone covers that we're actually using when we do our out in the field videos. Also, he asked to remain anonymous, but you know who you are. We've been gifted a really cool Osmo Pocket 3 that we're going to be going to use, hopefully, when we go to Mexico to film some potential videos on archaeological evidences of the Book of Mormon in Mesoamerica. So you guys have been super generous. We're super grateful for all the support. Make sure you guys check out the Antichrist Playbook and Jonah Barnes' book at Plain and Precious Publishing. Those are for sale right now, and they still have copies left of the Antichrist Playbook. A lot of people took advantage of the Stripling Boomers QR code for the last Boomer shirts out there, which are almost sold out. If you guys want to support the channel, make sure you go to the Ward Radio website and check out the merch store there. We also have still in stock the last few of the War in Heaven veteran hats. We're out of the snapback ones, but we do have plenty of the, well, actually I wouldn't say plenty. We're down to probably our last 20 of the Flex Fit War in Heaven veteran hats. So please make sure that you guys check those out in the Ward Radio merch store. Other than that, it's been real and it's been fun, and it's been real fun for this and more. Please make sure you check us out at wardradio.com.
I built a rocket in my basement. I'm gonna fly it to the moon. This supersonic is amazing. You're gonna feel my sonic boom. I'm flying higher and I'm never coming down. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me. We brought the funk into this function. We show up dressed into the nines. Okay. Never need an introduction. No matter what, we're feeling fine. I'm flying high and I'm never coming down. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. I can't stop. I'm never giving up because I'm way too hot to not be at the top. I can't stop. I'm never giving up because I'm way too hot to not be at the top. I'm flying high and I'm never coming down. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me. Ladies, leave your man at home if he don't treat you like a queen. Yeah. Fellas, if you need a role model, then you can roll with me. Oh, I'm flying.